Welcome, dear students. In this lecture, we will study the important grammar topic. It is voice. So, friends, speaking about voice, there are two types of voice in English. The first one, it is active voice, and second one, it is passive voice. So, what is active voice? The active voice, in active voice, the doer or subject, the doer is important, or the subject of the sentence, it is important. For example, the example is given here. Rohit watches TV regularly. So in this sentence, Rohit is the doer of the action. That is why doer or subject, it is important. So importance is given to the doer, subject. And in passive voice, action is important, not doer. Action is important. For example, the same sentence, Rohit watches TV regularly. I have written this sentence into passive voice here. TV is watched regularly by whom? It is not important, but I have given there by Rohit. So TV is watched regularly. I can get the complete sentence here, regularly. But again, by Rohit, it is less important part. That is why it is written after the completion of the sentence, by Rohit. So in passive voice, action is important, not the doer. Now, if you want to know the voice thoroughly, then you have to remember some things. So which are these things to be remembered? The first one, things to remember, the first one, subject of the sentence is given in subjective case always. So take any sentence. If you want to use pronoun as subject, at that time you have to use subjective case only. And second thing, object of the sentence is given in objective case. So object is given only in objective case. For example, if you want to use the personal pronoun as an object, at that time it must be written in objective case only. So if I have to use that I as subject, at that time I will use I in subjective case. But if I want to use that I in as object, at that time I have to write that I into objective case. It means I have to use me instead of I. So object is given always in objective case. And third one, subjective and objective case of personal pronouns. So what is subjective case and what is objective case? Those words, personal pronouns, are given here. So here I, it is subjective case, and in objective case it is written as me. Then we becomes us, you subjective, in objective also it is or it remains same. Then he subjective case, him objective case. Then she subjective case, her, it is objective case. Then it remains it in subjective and objective, and they, it becomes them in objective case. Now the next fourth thing to be remembered is that intransitive verbs can't be converted into passive voice. So all of you know there are two types of verbs, transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. So intransitive verbs can't be modified, can't be converted into passive. For example, example number A and B both are given here. The first one is Raju cooks beautifully. It is intransitive verb because that verb has no object. That is why it is intransitive verb, and I can't modify that sentence into passive. But the same verb is given in the sentence B or next sentence, Raju cooks meal. That sentence can be modified into passive voice. So this is very important thing, that only transitive verbs, the verbs carrying objects, can be modified into passive voice. Intransitive verbs can't be modified into passive voice. This is the fourth thing you have to remember. Number 5, the verbs from those given aspects of the tense, subtypes of the tense, can't be modified into passive voice. Which are those aspects? Which are these subtypes? First one, future continuous tense. It can't be modified into passive. Then present perfect continuous. Then past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous. Those four subtypes, four aspects of the tense can't be modified into passive voice. Now, these 5 things you have to remember, that the first one, subject is always given in subjective case, object is always given in objective case. Then we have seen the subjective case and objective case of personal pronouns. Then transitive verbs can't be modified into passive voice, and verbs from future continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous can't be modified into passive voice. Now let's learn how to convert the sentence from active to passive, but in this stage we are going to learn subtype wise or aspect wise, the tense wise discussion we will make here. Before going tense wise, how to convert the sentence from active to passive, but there are some general rules to convert the sentence from active voice to passive voice. First of all, let's see those rules, and after that we will turn towards how to convert the sentence from active to passive tense wise. So these are the general rules, remember well. So what is the first rule? What is the first thing you have to keep in your mind? Identify the subject of the sentence, subject of the active voice, which is the subject from that particular sentence. Then next one, identify the verb and tense of the verb. So you have to identify the verb, which is the action verb, main verb, and in which tense that verb is given. So you have to understand, you have to know that main verb and its tense. You have to identify those two things, main verb and its tense. Then number 3, identify the object. So you have to identify the object from that active voice, and objects can be given in 2 ways, direct object and indirect object. So generally direct objects are the objects which we get after asking the question to the verb with WH word what. If we ask the question with what to that sentence, we will get that direct object. And if we ask the question with whom, we will get indirect object. And indirect objects are generally personal pronouns in objective case. Actually, I have told you this thing in our sentence pattern. What is direct object and what is indirect object. So direct objects are the objects which we get after asking the question with what to that sentence, and indirect objects are the objects which we get after asking the question with whom to that sentence. And indirect objects are generally personal pronouns in objective case. So you have to identify that particular object, whether it is direct or indirect. Then begin your passive voice. Begin your passive voice sentence with that identified object, whether it is direct or indirect. You have to begin your passive voice with object. So start your sentence of passive voice with the object. Then number 5, use proper helping verb. After using that particular object, use proper helping verb according to the tense, because already you have identified the tense, and you have to write, you have to use appropriate helping verbs there, whether it is helping verb of to be or to have or modal auxiliary or shall will, whatever it may. You have to use proper helping verb accordingly. Then number 6, use V3. V3 means past participle of the action verb, past participle of the main verb. You have to use past participle of the main verb after using helping verb. So it is compulsory, or it is rule, you can say, that in passive voice you have to use past participle of the main verb. Then number 7, use RPS. This RPS means remaining part of the sentence. Complement. So use that remaining part of the sentence after verb. Verb means this verb, past participle. Just after using that past participle of the main verb, write down the remaining part of the sentence there. And after that, use by plus subject, but subject in objective case. If there is proper noun, common noun, then there is no problem. But if there is personal pronoun used as subject, it will be given in subjective case as the subject of active voice. And here you are going to use that personal pronoun in objective case. So in the last step of the passive voice, you are going to arrange this structure by plus subject. Now, as I have told you, we are going to see all these rules tense wise. So let's move forward towards first aspect of the tense. It is simple tense. So now let's go aspect wise or tense wise, and the first aspect of the tense, it is simple tense. Whether it is simple present, simple past or simple future. Now let's think about simple present tense. So what is the structure in active voice of simple present tense? The structure is given here. Subject plus V1, and if there is third person singular verb, we attach yes or es suffix to that verb. So subject plus V1, sometimes yes or es is attached, plus object and then remaining part of the sentence. For example, Seema sings a song. So this is active voice, and active voice, the tense is simple present tense. How to convert that into passive voice? As our rules tell us that passive voice must begin with object. So object, then we have to use appropriate helping verb, and to make the sentence in passive of simple present, we have to use the helping verbs of to be from present tense, and the helping verbs from present tense of to be are am, is and are. So I have to choose either am or is or are here. Then our rule also tells us that we have to use V3, it means past participle in passive voice. Then remaining part, then by, and then subject, but subject in objective case. So Seema sings a song, such is the sentence from simple present, and the passive voice also is given here. I have began that sentence with a song. So this is the object, a song. Then I have used appropriate helping verb of to be. So it is. Then I have used V3 also, sung. V3 of main verb, action verb, sing. It is sung. Then there is no remaining part, that is why by and subject. As Seema is proper noun, that is why no objective case is used, as it is that subject is used here. So what will be the passive voice of the sentence? Seema sings a song. It is active voice. According to our rules, we converted that into passive voice. So the sentence is, a song is sung by Seema. So it is the passive voice. And what is the pattern of passive voice? We get object, then to be, then past participle, it is V3, then remaining part of the sentence, then by plus subject, but subject in objective case. So it is structure of active voice of simple present, and it is the structure of passive voice of simple present. The next one, next aspect, it is, so simple present tense. I have recently spoken about simple present tense. Now second one, it is simple past. So in simple past also the structure is quite similar. Only the only difference is that phi2 is used here. So subject plus phi2, it means past form of the verb. It is used here. Subject plus phi2 plus object and then remaining part of the sentence. So this is the structure of active voice in simple past tense. For example, Raju caught a ball. So this is the sentence from simple past tense. Now, how to convert it into passive? So the formula or the pattern is given. First, as our rule tells us, object, then proper form of helping verb of to be. So was or where, then V3, it means past participle of the sentence, then remaining part of the sentence, then by, then subject, but subject in objective case. So it will be the pattern of passive voice of simple past tense. So how will this sentence convert into passive voice? A ball. So it is object, a ball. Then appropriate helping verb, was. Then P3, it is caught. And there is no remaining part. So by. And Raju. A ball was caught by Raju. It such will be the passive voice of simple past tense. Then next one, simple future, simple tense but future, and the active structure or the active voice sentence structure is given here. First one, we begin the sentence with subject, then we use either shall or will, then we use P1, it means root verb of the root form of the verb, then object and remaining part of the sentence. So this is the structure of active voice of simple future. For example, the cat will catch the mouse. The cat, it is subject, will, then catch P1, the mouse, it is object. Now, while modifying it into passive voice, we have to begin the sentence with object. So, object, the object is the mouse. So, the mouse, it is object. Then, appropriate form of future helping verb. Then, that shall or will. So, will is used here. Shall or will. So, will. And be, this word must be used there. Because just after shall and will, we can't use past participle. That is why we have to insert that be. It is very important. Be. And after the using of be, we have to use there V3 or past participle. So then remaining part of the sentence, by plus subject in objective case. Such will be the structure of passive voice of simple future tense. So object plus shall or will, then be, don't forget that be, then V3 past participle, then remaining part, then by plus subject but in objective case. Such will be the structure of passive voice of simple future tense. The cat will catch the mouse. How that sentence will convert into passive? Object, the mouse, will, be, P3 of catch, it is caught by the cat. The mouse will be caught by the cat. So in this way, such will be the structure of active voice of simple present, simple past and simple future, and such will be the structure or pattern of the sentence of passive voice of simple present, simple past and simple future. Now let's move forward towards second aspect. It is continuous tense. Continuous tense. As all of you know, in our basic rules, things to remember, I have told you that future continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous. Those four aspects, subtypes can't be modified into passive voice. So I have taken only remaining two from continuous tense. The first one, it is present continuous tense, and second one, it is past continuous tense. From active voice, what is the sentence pattern, what is the sentence structure of present continuous tense? So here it is given. So subject, then to be, proper form of to be from present tense, and the helping verbs of to be for present, those are am, is and are. Then V4, V4 means the ing form of main verb. So it is V4. Then object or complement or remaining part of the sentence. So such is the structure of present continuous tense in active voice. Again, apply those rules on this structure. The example is given: children are, children it is subject, are it is proper helping verb of to be, then V for playing ing form, then cricket on the ground. If we apply those rules, so begin your sentence with object, so cricket, then use proper helping verb, it is, then use V3, so played is used here, then on the ground it is remaining part, then by and children. But in this sentence I have used that being additional, or additionally I have used that word. The new word is used there. Why? To denote that this is the passive voice of continuous tense, and that is why that ing is attached to that be. So being, that word must be used in the passive voice of continuous tense, whether it is passive voice of past continuous or passive voice of present continuous. We have to use that being. So what is the sentence structure of passive of that past present continuous tense? So it is object, then proper forms of to be, those are from present, am, is, are, then the word being, don't forget that being, then V3 it means past participle, and then remaining part, then by, then subject, but it is in objective case. So in this way you will get the formula and the sentence: cricket is being played on the ground by children. The same case is with past continuous tense. Now you will come to know that here V4 is used and here also V4 is used. Then how we will recognize the tense, whether it is past continuous or present continuous? For that purpose, we have to recognize the proper form of to be. Which form of to be is used? If it is used from present, then it is present continuous. If the helping verbs of to be from past, those are used, then it is past continuous. So we recognize, we identify the continuous tense with the help of helping verbs of to be, not from the main verb. So this is the structure of active voice: subject plus to be. From passive, the form of to be are, was and were, then V4, then object, and then remaining part or complement of the sentence. It will be the structure of active voice of past continuous tense. For example, Gopal was doing his work. Such is the example. Now, how should we convert it into passive? As all of you know, object, your past passive voice must begin with object. So object, then helping verb of to be. So was or were. Then as I have told you, additional word being must be used in the passive of continuous tense. Then V3. Then remaining part by, then subject in objective case. It will be the passive structure of continuous tense, past continuous tense. And the sentence, Gopal was doing his work. How will this sentence converted into passive voice? His work was being done by Gopal. In this way, we have seen the continuous aspect, continuous present and continuous past, how those two types of tense are converted into passive voice. Remember well, future continuous tense can't be converted into passive. Now let's move forward again towards the third aspect. It is perfect tense. So let's turn towards third aspect. It is perfect tense. Here is active structure is given, active voice, and here is passive structure is given. So the first aspect of third aspect of tense, present perfect tense, past perfect tense or future perfect tense. Let's speak about present perfect tense. So this is the structure of present perfect. Subject plus to have. It means helping verbs of to have and has, plus V3. It means past participle of action verb, and then object and remaining part. This is the formula or pattern of active voice of present perfect tense. For example, Sita has completed her work, her homework. Sita is the subject, has, it is proper form of to have, it means have or has. So has, then V3 of complete, it is completed, then her homework, it is object of the sentence. Now how this sentence turns into passive voice? So I have started the sentence with object, her homework. So object, I have begun the sentence with object. Then to have or has. So has is the proper helping verb of to have, so it has been used. Then the additional word been, it has been used here. As I have used being in continuous tense, here I have used been. Then V3. So V3. Then remaining part, so no remaining part is there, no complement is there. That is why there is no need to write. Then by, and then Sita, here is the subject. So I have written Sita as it is because it is proper noun. So this is the structure of passive voice of present perfect tense. Object plus to have, it means have or has. Then been, this additional word is must to use. Then V3. Then remaining part by plus subject, but subject in objective case. Then past perfect tense. So past perfect tense, same structure is there. Only the difference is here, had. And in past perfect tense, the structure of active voice is subject plus to have. It means the form of to have in past tense is had. Then V3, it means past participle, then object, and then remaining part of the sentence. It is the structure of active voice of past perfect tense. For example, I had written a story. So subject I, then had, it is form of to have, then written, it is V3, then a story, it is object. Here, the passive structure I have written here. Object plus to have, it means had, then been, the additional word is needed to be used, then V3, then remaining part, then by, then subject, but it is in objective case. So this is the structure of passive voice of past perfect tense. And the same sentence, I had written a story, it is converted into passive here, a story. So is I have started the sentence with a story because it is object of the sentence. Then had, it is helping verb of to have. Then been, additional word is used there as I have told here. So been. Then V3. So V3 is used here. So this been, here also it has been written. V3 is used, then by, and then I have used the objective case of the subject. It means this is the subject, I, and there I have used me in objective case. In this way, I have converted the active voice of past perfect into the passive one. Then last one, future perfect tense. In future perfect tense, again the same structure is there, subject, but we have to use shall have or will have in future perfect tense. Then V3, it means past participle, then object and remaining part of the sentence. So such is the structure of active voice in future perfect tense. For example, Ramesh will have done the work. And in passive, object plus shall have or will have, we have to use there because it is future tense, that is why shall and will is to be used. So object plus shall have or will have, then additional word been, again here been. Then V3, it means past participle, remaining part of the sentence by plus subject, but subject in objective case. And the sentence Ramesh will have done the work is converted here into passive. I have begun the sentence with object, the work, then will have, this word is used, then that additional word been, it is used here, then V3 of done or do, it is done, and then by and subject of the active voice, it means Ramesh, is used there. So we have seen three aspects: simple, simple present, simple past, and simple future. Then continuous, present continuous, past continuous, and perfect, present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. How to convert these tenses into passive. Now let's move forward towards modal auxiliaries, sentences with modal auxiliaries. So sentences with modal auxiliaries. So what is the active voice sentence pattern, sentence structure of sentences with modal auxiliaries? Here it is given. So the sentence begins with subject, then we use modal auxiliary, then V1, it means root verb, then object and remaining part of the sentence. So all of you know the modal auxiliaries are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought to, need, dare, all these 13 are the modal auxiliaries, as I have told you earlier in that sentence pattern. So all these modal auxiliaries, and the sentence pattern in active voice is here, subject plus modal auxiliary, then V1, then object, and then complement or the remaining part of the sentence. For example, for your understanding, I have taken here three examples. In the first sentence, Subhash can drive a car. That can, it is modal auxiliary used here. Then in the second sentence, we should look after our parents. That should, it is used here as modal auxiliary. Then drivers must obey the traffic rules. So this must. So all these three, can, should, and must, these modal auxiliaries are used in this sentence respectively. Now, how to convert this type of sentence into passive voice? The structure is given. As we have seen that our passive voice must begin with object. So, object plus the modal auxiliary, whatever it may, can, could, may, might, the modal auxiliary, the same modal auxiliary from the active voice you are going to use there after the use of object. Then that additional word be, it should be used here. Then as our rule tells us that we should use V3, it means past participle of the main verb, so V3 must be used. Then remaining part by plus subject, but subject in objective case. Let's see the first example. Subhash can drive a car. This is the sentence from active voice. Now in passive voice, I have begun the sentence with a car because it is object, a car. Then the same modal auxiliary can. I have used here can. The additional word be, it is used here. Then drive, this is V1, but I have used here driven, so it is V3. Then by and then subject. In the second sentence, we should look after our parents. So our parents, it is object of the sentence. So I have begun the sentence with our parents. Our parents, the same modal auxiliary should, it is used here, should be, that additional word be. Looked after, because this is phrase, look after. So I have used the V3 of look, it is looked after by, and the objective case of we, it is us. So by us. Our parents should be looked after by us. In the third sentence, must is used there. Drivers must obey the traffic rules. So the traffic rules, it is object. Then same modal auxiliary must, it is used here. Then be, so must be obeyed. Obey, the V3 of obey, it is obeyed by drivers. In this way, the sentences with modal auxiliary turns into passive. Now, remember well, while modifying the sentence into passive voice, it is general thing that you begin your sentence with object, then you have to focus on helping verbs. Helping verbs means you have to use those helping verbs according to the subtype of tense. So just focus on helping verb. And as all of you know, it is general rule that after the use of helping verb, we use V3, it means past participle. Then we use remaining part of the sentence. Then we use by, and then we use subject, but the objective case of the subject. But in this, all these rules, remember well that in continuous tense, you have to use additional word being in passive voice. In perfect tense, you have to use been in passive voice of perfect tense. And in the sentences with modal auxiliaries or simple future, you have to use that be. So, being in continuous tense, been in perfect tense, and be in simple future and sentences with modal auxiliaries. Those words are the keywords for passive. The remaining rules remain same. So all the rules are same, but helping verb, proper use of helping verb, and proper use of those words being, been, and be. Those are the keywords. Those are the words which play very important role in passive voice. So friends, this is the passive voice of assertive sentence. And I hope all of you have understood what is passive voice and how the sentence converts into passive voice, but the structure is, it is of assertive sentence. In the next lecture, we will meet with the passive voice of imperatives or imperative sentences and interrogative sentences. In interrogative sentences, we will see verbal questions also and WH questions also. So it's enough for today. We will meet in the next part with the passive voice of imperatives and interrogative sentences. So thank you.